My Lord, Sirs, Ladies and Gentlemen, welcome to the North Yorkshire Lord Lieutenant Certificate presentation for 2014. The Lord Lieutenant Certificate is an award in recognition of the exceptional service by the volunteer. It is indeed to supplement honours bestowed by Her Majesty the Queen in the New Year's and Birthday Honours list, and is in President's ranks just after such awards. The certificate is in the form of an illuminated scroll signed by the Lord Lieutenant of the county, and it is awarded of high merit of which the recipient may be justly proud. The Lord Lieutenant certificate may be awarded to any serving volunteer of whatever rank for exceptional service over the period of time. To be eligible as an individual must be serving as a volunteer at the Reserve Forces on the 1st of March in that year in which the volunteer is recommended. The award is not intended as a routine, regional or long and faithful service in the Reserve Forces, but the criterion of exceptional service in the principal factor for which this award is presented. Can I first call upon Lieutenant Colonel Moore to make the first citation?
Sir, Major Patricia Beesley. Major Beesley is a highly experienced officer. She has served in a number of medical units, laterally with the Army Medical Services Operational Headquarters Support Group, in a dual capacity as SO2 patient regulation and as our regimental admin officer. Over the past 24 months, she has worked unstintingly in her support for pre-deployment training for personnel deploying on Operation Herrick. She has been a key member of OHST, providing pre-deployment support during critical hospice exercises in advance of deployment. In addition, she has been the mainstay of unit coordination and management of those staff selected to support this function, and has undertaken much of this aspect during her own time and without pay or formal recognition. This officer also stepped forward for a crucial clinical governance and paediatric role within 201 Field Hospital's operational tour and deployed to Afghanistan for 4 months. During operational tour leave, Major Beesley subsequently volunteered to provide specialist input into those units preparing for deployment and sacrificed her leave commitments to facilitate the necessary training within tight timelines. In more recent months, she has also supported 2 key ARC medical exercises, preparing medical personnel to address future contingency operation, and has received highly positive post-exercise performance reports on both occasions. Major Beesley epitomises the very best attributes of those serving within the Army Reserves. She constantly rises above and beyond that expected of her rank and position. She is entirely worthy of recognition through the award of a Lord Lieutenant Certificate, for which he has been recommended in the strongest possible terms. Sir, Major Beesley.
That's something, listening to those citations. Absolutely wonderful. Think of the contribution that you've all made. Just phenomenal. So I think we all feel very privileged to be here for this event and this occasion. And indeed you've got a wonderful group of VIPs here to watch this. We've got the Lord Mayor of York and Consort, and thank you very much for coming, and the Sheriff of York, and indeed the High Sheriff. And so you couldn't have a grander group of people to witness this. And it's wonderful you've all agreed to come. Well, we really heard, you explained about, and there's a good little piece on the brochures that you all have, really explaining about how this all comes about. But it's much more than just you were saying, it's not just a question of having done a large number of years. It's actually going much further than that, and it's contributing much more than would be expected, really. So they are terribly, terribly special things. The reserve forces, I think, are going to become even more important in years to come. And we were saying, Ian, that the numbers are going to increase enormously in the next few years. And so all the support that we can all give is tremendously important. Reservists can expect to be mobilised for operational deployments within 3 years of joining, and will probably continue to be deployed on a regular basis in the future. In recent times, 2,000 reservists have deployed each year, including 120 each year from Yorkshire and the Humber, our area here. And that's really going to increase. And even with the withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan, there will continue to be a need for our reserves, either abroad or indeed at home, as we saw during the floods. And the reserves did a tremendous lot of wonderful work during that time. So we owe a great debt of gratitude to all our highly professional volunteer reservists, and we're paying great tribute to a number tonight who really represent the whole body of reservists. And we also thank and pay tribute to their employers, and very, very importantly, their families. And we heard about one family that does a great deal to support. And without their support, your ability to carry out these duties would be well nigh impossible. There are apparently 120,000 cadets from all 3 services in the United Kingdom, and 9,000 of those are in Yorkshire and Humberside. Is that right, Ian? Is that the right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was told. And supported by 20,000 adult volunteers. So, thank you to the officers and adult instructors of our cadet forces for the outstanding work that you all do. And you give unselfishly of your time, your spare time, in order to support the youth in our area. And, I don't think there's anything more important that you can do than support the youth, who are the future. And I've seen cadets, and I've had these wonderful Lord Lieutenants cadet, who got Ben here tonight, and on occasions when I've met the new Lord Lieutenants cadets, the parents will say, you know, until my son or daughter went into the cadet, became a cadet, they were very shy, and one told me that if anyone came to the door, daughter hid behind the sofa, and there she was giving this presentation, just like being given tonight, full of confidence. So it's a great thing to become, to be in the cadet movement and to become a Lord Lieutenant's cadet. So wonderful for the young of this country, and indeed, I think you were saying, yeah, it enables them to become the good citizens of tomorrow, whether they continue in the armed services or not. So wonderful, wonderful movement, and you're all, of course, very much supported by your families with car journeys and all sorts of things. So it really is an evening of, as you were saying, Ian, it's an evening of celebration and of thanks. And enormous thanks to everyone involved. And not getting the Four Yorks band in the background there makes a great difference, having some music during the meeting. So thanks so much for coming and entertaining us. And also thanks to Brigadier Greville Bibby for allowing us to be here tonight. I was actually with Brigadier Greville earlier today in Catterick at Phoenix House, where people are helped to, if they'd had bad injuries, where they're helped to get back into normal life. But anyway, he had another appointment tonight, but he sent lots of messages of goodwill tonight. So I think that's really the end of what I want to say. I know we're going to be given something to eat, which is nice, and that'll give us a chance to talk and for me to meet everyone. And we've also got a wonderful photographer somewhere in the back, Adrian, who will be happy to do any number of photographs. And I think he's taken, in the 15 years I've been Lord Lieutenant, he's taken 4,000 or 5,000 pictures of me, I think, and they're all good. So anyway, I mean, I just finally would like to congratulate everyone and say what a special evening this is for all of you, and indeed all of us who are here to witness and to hear those amazing citations. So thank you all very much.